What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle, and I am on a FIFA hangover because it's Monday, so if my eyes look like this, it's not what you're thinking. Today, I want to discuss formations, tactics, and the general state of FIFA 21 and what we should expect and what needs to happen going forward. If you enjoyed this content, please drop a like. We keep everything very transparent, open-ended. I like us to have these discussion points. I like to touch on all the topics. And if you wanted to see the gameplay live, because this video will include some of my more difficult matchups or some of the intense games, twitch.tv/Mike LaBelle. We are streaming every single day. We are YouTubing every single day, and I need your help because I want to know what formation or formations did you play this past weekend league, and what have you adjusted with tactics.
What's up, my beautiful people? You know we equal, man. It's dirty. Hurry, gather round. Don't you worry, hold it down. This one's going through the town. Pass it around one, two, on the wall of life like it's FIFA, and I only came to bow.
We're at a current build in FIFA 21, a title that was incredible at launch. One of my favorite FIFAs, period, the launch edition. I'll even go on record saying that it was the best FIFA in the past 5 years. We had more manual usage. We had high returns for micromanaging and mastery of certain intangibles. The intricacies were there, the skill moves, the goals, the offensive weapons and tools. There was gonna be tons of variety. And you were actually gonna see skill gap on skill gap on skill gap, because skill gaps will always be generated from more complex, more complicated, more manual play. And it's often gonna come on the defensive end. I've been playing FIFA at the highest level for well over a decade. And all the best installments always included the ability to have more manual play. At least if you're looking at this from a competitive angle, or if you're looking at this from being able to have different gaps between levels. In theory, there should be a massive gap between Gold 1 and Elite 3, and Elite 3 and Elite 1. But at the current build, if we're talking about today, there's not. I've never played over the past 3 or 4 weeks so many close competitive matchups throughout weekend leagues with players that simply aren't necessarily at the same standard. But the game has been catered to the casual player to an extreme, mainly on the defensive end. Just think back, especially if you record your gameplay. How many matchups were you going up against someone who parked the bus or had an overload ball side or looked to counterattack or didn't touch their defense, and then you add in maybe the connectivity not being perfect? And I think we might be describing the servers a little favorably, maybe a little bit friendly. You just can't break down the level of AI blocks, and you can't find angles, you can't find space. So now there's a majority just sitting back, and it evens out the playing field completely, especially if you on the reverse end are taking chance. You're going for risk. You're manually moving. You're in that micro manage mastery. That category, that tier needs to be more reward. As you see the squad on screen, I will mention this is the week that we should see the initial iteration of next gen, or at least some sort of patch. I've never been more excited for a patch, and the reason that I talk about patches so often is not only do they shift the gameplay, but because I've enjoyed this title so much when it was first introduced, I still have some sort of FIFA enthusiast belief that says it can shift, it can revert, it can get closer to that than where it's gone or where it's become this FIFA 20 2.0. Elephant in the room. You want to know about Hamid. Was he good? Was he bad? He was decent through about 15 games. When I got into the better opponents, then I noticed he was a 75 overall. I would not recommend it. Cost me a lot of goals. And because the matches are often kind of a battle, they're low-scoring affairs until the opening goal, especially if you're playing against someone who is really looking to kill off the game. They're sitting deep. When you let in a near-post finish that does not work in this year's installment, and now you're down a goal and you have to start to chase. Chasing in FIFA 21, especially if you're losing your patience, you're losing your head, which I'm guilty of doing, especially this past weekend, you're going to be in big trouble. He's decent coming out. I didn't have a lot of issues with aerial pursuit or even his legs and arms looking big if you're rushing out. However, if he's sitting back, I've never conceded so many finesse shots, which really has not been a thing. Defensively, I still like Iko Para. I still like Aaron Long. I thought Lima was cool. Wan-Bissaka might be slightly past his time this year. You can still use him. He's still overpowered, but because there's so many fullbacks that are affordable and we're starting to get more upgrades and more promos, that's worth taking into consideration. Both Rashford and Mbappe nearly went for 40 goals apiece to go with 20 plus assists. So did they do their job? Yes, but they were my complete offense. Ben Yedder should not be a starter. He could be a great super sub. If you have the inform, you can start him, but the standard 84 overall leaves you asking for more. Renato and Sissoko, it was decent. I'm not sure that I'm going to stick with it. I really want to work out some different formations because I was playing a 4-4-2. I even played a little 4-2-2 when chasing the game, but I just not enjoying that type of meta. So I need to come up with something that allows me to infuse the Dirty Mike touch, where I get to have a little more of the razzle dazzle. I can throw off the opposition, and assuming that this patch or that this game maybe doesn't shift in the way that you want it to, you have to adapt, you have to pivot. And the last few weeks, I have not been able to do that well whatsoever because I just can't believe what I'm witnessing each weekend between the bounce backs and some of the AI defending and just not being rewarded for build-up play. Bamba, I enjoyed him. I scored some incredible goals with Bamba. He had the most volleys and flicks and some of the skill move session and just the tricks and the flair. I think he was a cool investment for yours truly. I had a lot of extra players. Am I saying this is must-do SBC? Not necessarily. It's a matter of if he fits your team. And now that they've introduced that new Alessandrini, you can start to get into a real French hybrid combination free flow. And with foot miss around the corner, you should expect that there's going to be a lot of new drops, new iterations. We should have a ton of content. I appreciate all of you. If you agree with some of the things that I'm saying, amazing. Drop a like on this video and also comment. I want to know your tactics and I'd like to know your formation or formations that you used this past weekend league. I appreciate you. I love you. Health, wealth, prosperity your way. Enjoy the gameplay. Untradeable in many areas. Sadly, he has Rashford, which just makes me very upset. I'm nervous now. Kind of heavy. Nutmeg. First goal. Just that half turn. I need to simplify my gameplay. Pull it. That pass is going up the pitch, man. I'm so pissed. That's a great ball. Big stop. Those ball rolls were clever. That is nastiness. We pulled that back into the La Croqueta. Oh, where did Mbappe come from? Is this a loan? Am I getting his loan Mbappe right now? That makes no sense. God dang it, bro. That makes no freaking sense at all. Just a simple game. Come on. What is that? It's supposed to be a body feint, man. Great. If he's on, we're screwed. I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play anymore. Are you... Please don't go. I don't understand! Like, what is the deal? All in one game! All in one game! Thank you. Here's your comeback. As we get into this game, if y'all want to drop a sub, we'd love to have you here. It'd mean a lot to us. Oh, quick feet. Quick feet. There's the goal. Ah, we didn't. I love how my team just backed off of him. Can't miss from there. Even a little bridge bounce back, man. They protect the ball so well, is the reality. What Aguero is this? This is a normal Aguero. Wow, he jumps over the slide. Beautiful. That's what we're talking about. GG's, chat. That red Rashford makes me terrified. Like, look at the covery there, though. Like, this is our bunch of mistakes. AI block. We get a rebound. But it's just like, think how all over him I am, and I might not get a goal there. And every game is just a battle. And what separates, you can see this, like what separates your opponent, it's random bounces. Every person can play defense is the big problem. Look, I'm so good at defending, so for them to just cut all that ability out is just annoying. What a ball, what a finish. I'm telling you right now, because everyone can sit bodies back. Everyone can do it, and the way that the players move for you is unbelievable. That's a bad ball. No, why? I don't understand. I don't understand why Opara steps there, man. Terrible position for that. Please. And thank you. Mike, any defense you want. Any defense you want. Beautiful. Open the lane. That's supposed to be a fake shot. Ah, you love to see that. Perfectly timed heel to heel to open up that lane. That is the best skill move possible in that circumstance to score that goal. And we get the rage quit.